introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rockford Lotka. I'm the CTO at Magenic.
We're here today to ask you questions about piracy and how it affects the economy.
Okay, sounds great.
So, how does piracy affect the employees of the content creator?
Content creators come in a variety of sizes, I guess. There's people that create software, people that create music, people that create video, and other things, books. At the end of the day, if a content creator, whether it's a musician or an author or an actor or a director or somebody who makes software, if we can't make money, then we can't pay ourselves, we can't pay our employees, and really our companies or organizations can't exist. So, piracy ultimately devalues art, and that's a problem if we like art, if we like music.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, how difficult is it for content creators to protect their digital assets?
It's pretty much impossible.
Why is that?
The reason is that there's all this protection. Usually it's called DRM, or digital rights management. So if you, for example, download a movie off Netflix and stream it, you don't have the rights to make a copy of it and play it on a different device or something like that. And what the DRM technology does is it prevents you from making a copy, which is true if you're a good guy, but if you're a bad guy, it's pretty easy to find technologies that will circumvent or block, get around DRM. And so if you buy a book off Amazon and it's a protected book, you can unprotect it and give it to all your friends. That's not that hard. And so the thing is that if you're a good guy, you're going to pay for the stuff in the first place, and you wouldn't pirate it. So then DRM does nothing except cause your life to be complex. And if you're a bad guy, you'll just circumvent DRM. And that's always an arms race. Everybody, all the record and audio, movie companies, they're always trying to come up with better ways to protect everything. And all the bad guys are constantly figuring out ways to get around the protections. And the harder the protections get to deal with, the worse it is for those of us who do in fact pay for our movies and music, because it just makes our lives worse and worse over time.
Okay, one last question. How does new technology affect the production and distribution of digital assets?
Well, this is kind of a big deal, because ultimately we keep inventing technologies to make our lives better, faster, cheaper, sometimes all of the above. And when we start looking at digital technologies in particular, and the way that they impact media, like music and books and so forth, it used to be the case that for an artist to record some music, they had to go to a very specialized facility called a recording studio that had a lot of really expensive equipment, and they would record it, and then that recording would get manufactured onto records. The records, literally a manufacturing process. And then those records were very, very heavy, so they had to be shipped on trucks. And so there was a reason to pay record companies to do all this stuff. But today, an artist, it's not unrealistic to think that a musical artist can use a computer at home with some simple microphones and create a pretty decent set of music that can be distributed over the internet with no trucks, no nothing. And so the question you have to wonder then, ask yourself, is do we still need record companies? And this is where all this digital technology really changes the way these things work, because in a sense, the record companies and the movie companies really want to stay in existence and make money, even though they maybe don't have a role anymore. And so we end up almost incented to be pirates, because we want to maybe pay less money because we want to pay it directly to an artist, and not have to pay all these people to no longer run trucks and no longer do manufacturing. And yet those companies want to continue to exist. And so that's what makes this whole issue really complex, is that we should want to pay the content creators, and we should want to put tangible value on music and art and books and movies. But at the same time, the digital technologies really are affecting the way that all these things get distributed, and should be making them cheaper and easier for us to get.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
In 1999, global music sales topped at $38 billion, but over the course of 2 years, 60 million active Napster users changed the music industry forever. By the time Napster was shut down, serious damage had already been done. It was not until 2012 that sales finally went up 3% thanks to services like iTunes and Amazon that made buying illegal content easier than stealing it. Today, the music industry generates $16.5 billion in revenue, roughly half the amount it did 15 years ago. 750,000 jobs have been lost due to online piracy. Piracy has this effect because it steals revenue from artists, making them unable to pay their employees.
There are many opinions on piracy. Some people say it would help them become more distinguished as artists, where other people would say it steals their revenue. There are a lot of pirates on the internet because of how easy it is to obtain software legally and sell without anyone knowing the difference. Even if someone finds out they were cheated, the pirate doesn't really have to worry because there will be no trace of a transaction.